Hi guys, Tammy here from Gardener. I just want to make a really quick video about how I take cuttings that I have propagated and put them into soil. So basically what I do is, and these are two cuttings I just took off a plant maybe 2 to 3 days ago. I just take a piece that I want. I cut it out of 45, okay? And I just stick it honestly into some tap water, put it into a clear container, and I set it in a really bright windowsill. That way I know it's getting enough sunlight, the water is warming up, and it's going to promote growth. Generally on 2 to 3 days, I will take these larger leaves on all of these cuttings and I will pinch them off or cut them off. For me, I feel that it gives a lot more energy to the plant into promoting root growth versus promoting what I would consider more flower. I don't generally add much to my water. I don't usually have to use any root hormone or anything like that. Every now and again, I will put a shot of hydrogen peroxide in, and that just kind of aerates things and it keeps the fungus and stuff like that down. So generally, I mean, it's really just plain tap water, windowsill. And as the sun warms up the water, it's kind of like what it would do in the ground. It would warm the ground up and it would help to keep roots stimulated and to keep them healthy and to keep them wanting to grow. So here is an example of two cuttings that are approximately 5 to 6 weeks. And I have them in a really simple pitcher. And these are the two that I'm going to be putting into soil. Now when I do soil, and a lot of people will do it kind of differently, but for me, I think going from straight water to soil could burn and or shock the plants and the roots. So I try to keep my water in my soil kind of more watery or almost slurry, and let it kind of dry out on its own. For me, that gives the root system a little bit more time to acclimate from straight water to soil. So the first one I'm going to take, this one here, I feel is pretty good, pretty healthy, pretty strong. It has started to have roots that have come up the stem. So for me, it's healthy and it's doing what it needs to do. And I feel pretty confident about putting it into the soil. So very simple. You take my container. Normally I would do this with my finger, but I'm using a Sharpie. And if you're going to use your hands, I would suggest washing your hands prior to sticking your fingers in the soil, because anything you might have on your hands can transfer in and wrap around those nice precious roots, and you don't want anything to happen to those roots. So if you need to put gloves on, if you feel safer with gloves, or definitely wash your hands prior to making your hole. But I'm going to be using a Sharpie that I actually just took out of the package, so I feel pretty confident about that. So I just make a hole that I feel is deep enough to cover. I try to go approximately an inch above the last root. So I'm going to make my opening a little bit wider, and we're going to put it in. Try not to break any of the roots. Try to be gentle. Give me just 1 minute. Okay, sorry folks, sorry. Thought there was somebody at my door, but it was for somebody else. So that is it. We'll move that one to the side. I'm going to take my bigger container. Same thing. Just make a nice hole in the center. This one has pretty decent roots. Again, it's gone up the stem, and it's actually starting to try to get roots, those little white nodules. They're actually trying to get more roots. So this one as well I do feel confident about, so I am going to stick it in the soil approximately an inch over the last root and just get the soil in nice. Okay. Now I have both of my guys in their pots. Hopefully they're permanent homes. And honestly, I'm just going to take this water that I've been using for them. It is pretty clean. Give them another watering. Support them a little bit because the dirt is going to settle. And that's basically it. Put them back in the windowsill. Put them back where it's going to be really sunny. 6 to 8 hours I think is pretty safe in the windowsill. And hopefully they continue to grow. So